at its finest. Corruption at its finest. They couldn't take the loss. What's up, man? I know y'all see you. I don't want to touch that. I don't know what you're doing with your hands, buddy. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna look past Broly. Hey, that Austrian don't help you block a left hook. Now, what you probably did set up, we know you did that. Where's your little brother? Is your brother in the house? Because your brother knew before everybody else, and you don't answer that question.
My little brother right there.
Okay, so how do you know before everybody else? You know, corruption at its finest. Corruption at its finest. They couldn't take the loss. What's up, man? I know y'all see you.
Although Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney aren't officially set to face off yet, their rivalry is heating up with plenty of verbal jabs. The latest round of tension unfolded at a press conference for the May 2nd fight card. While Garcia is gearing up to fight Rolly Romero and Haney will be taking on Jose Ramirez, the real action came from the war of words between the two fighters, who have a history with each other.
Straight away when you came back.
Of course, that's the big fight is Ryan Garcia, but I cannot look past Jose Ramirez. I know that he's a tough competitor. I know that he's coming to win.
As always, Garcia wasted no time stirring things up. Instead of focusing on his upcoming fight with Romero, he quickly turned the conversation to Haney, making it clear that his real focus was on Haney, not his current opponent. "I'm really just focused on beating Devin Haney again," Garcia said, already treating their last matchup as a clear win in his mind. "That's all I care about, not to redeem myself, but to make sure that Osterine, which you probably set up, doesn't come back to haunt me." Just like that, Garcia dropped a bombshell, directly accusing Haney of being behind the doping scandal that marred their first fight in April 2024.
You're not like a fear, I told you you're gonna feel some fear, right? Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you you're gonna feel some fear you ain't felt? No.
The fight had originally been ruled a majority decision win for Garcia, but things quickly took a turn. The New York State Athletic Commission later overturned the result, declaring the fight a no contest after Garcia tested positive for Osterine. As a result, he was suspended for a year, had his $1.1 million purse taken back, and was hit with a $10,000 fine. To make matters worse, Garcia also came in 3.2 pounds over the 140-pound limit, which made him ineligible to claim Haney's WBC super lightweight title. Haney, who entered the fight with an undefeated 31-0 record, saw the whole situation as a disgrace. But now, Garcia was flipping the narrative, suggesting that the failed drug test wasn't his fault, it was Haney's doing.
But we'll see how he can do with Devin's boxing.
And what about the rematch with Devin and Ryan?
We all want that. We all want Ryan to finish what he started. They try to take away his loss once, but he's going to make a different statement, so they can't take it away in his next fight.
"We know you did that," Garcia shot back, then added, "Where's your little brother? Is he here? Because your brother knew before anyone else." He went on to question how Haney's brother had known about the test results before everyone else, calling it corruption at its finest. Garcia accused Haney of somehow orchestrating the doping scandal. This was a new twist in their ongoing feud, but it wasn't the first time Garcia had denied any wrongdoing. Back in May 2024, when his B sample also tested positive, Garcia told ESPN, "I don't know where the adverse finding came from, honestly. I was taking ashwagandha, D3, omega-3, just normal stuff. I don't know what Osterine is. I seriously have no idea. I would tell everyone the truth."
It's pretty one-sided. There really shouldn't be a rematch, to be honest. I'm just doing it for Turkey. There really shouldn't be a rematch. It wasn't close. I beat him easy.
Garcia had even insisted that if he had knowingly taken anything illegal, he would have just admitted it. "My whole thing is, I'd rather tell the truth than make up a lie, because lies don't last. If I really took it, I'd be like, honestly, I was going through a weird situation, wasn't that confident, and I chose to take it. I'm sorry, and that's it. But I didn't. I hate cheating. All I can say is, legal team, help me figure this out." Haney, however, wasn't buying any of it. As soon as Garcia made his accusation, Haney smirked and fired back, "You took your punishment because you knew you were guilty."
Because I know I didn't take steroids, it's not going to be much different. I mean, the crazy thing is, they want to keep on saying, "Oh, it's because of the PEDs, it's because of the PEDs. I was on fighting a guy with PEDs. PEDs don't help you block a left hook."
Garcia wasn't about to let Haney have the last word. He brought up the most humiliating part of their fight for Haney, the knockdowns. "Osterine doesn't help you block a left hook, bro," Garcia snapped. "You got hit like 1,000 times, you got dribbled off the canvas, you know damn well nothing was taken." Then, in one of the strangest moments of the press conference, Garcia dropped a mysterious line that left everyone confused. "Do not do substances." He had that in his back pocket the whole time. What he meant by that wasn't clear, but Garcia was clearly suggesting that Haney had been waiting to use the doping test as a weapon against him from the very beginning.
Been your thoughts on that?
Look, it's going to be a great card. All 3 fights are going to be unbelievable. New York, Times Square, can't wait. You know, Jose Ramirez, obviously coming off a loss and wants to go out there and prove the world that he's still there too.
Despite all the bad blood between them, the truth is that both Garcia and Haney have business to take care of on May 2nd. They are both heavy favorites in their upcoming fights, Garcia against Romero and Haney against Ramirez. If they both come out on top, there's no doubt that a rematch will be the next big fight to make. Given the accusations and hostility, this is no longer just about titles, it's personal. Their first fight was already controversial, but things are shaping up for a second encounter that could be even messier. If Haney wins, he might feel like he has nothing left to prove. After all, he's the clean fighter, and Garcia had been caught cheating once. But Garcia clearly sees it differently. In his mind, he beat Haney fair and square, and the whole doping scandal was just a setup to rob him of his biggest career win.
My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ before anything. As far as Rollins as my next opponent, you know, he was my first choice for sure.
He was or was not?
No, he wasn't. It was Pitbull Cruz, but you know, things played out a different way. But
it's not just Devin Haney throwing shots at Garcia. Haney's camp isn't holding back either. Haney made it clear that he believes the rematch should be happening now, not in October. He wasn't just frustrated, he was convinced that Team Garcia was stalling, delaying the inevitable. Haney even said that the only reason the rematch was scheduled at all was because he forced their hand. This is all BS, he said, sounding less like a trainer hyped for his son's next fight and more like a man tired of playing games. He claimed he was the one who had to push the deal forward, sitting across from Garcia and Oscar de la Hoya to make sure there were no more excuses. Everybody knows, everyone wants to see the fight right now, he said. I had to put the pen to paper and be very vocal to make this fight happen. Team Garcia said the fans didn't want to see it, but everyone wanted to see it.
Fear with Devin. Devin don't have no power.
Yeah. Ultimately, what do you feel puts you over the line against Ryan in this fight?
I know him. Know him really well.
Garcia and his team weren't just hesitant. According to Bill Haney, they were avoiding the fight, and he wasn't shy about saying why. He believed Garcia's confidence wasn't real, it was all an act, a cover-up for what truly happened in their first fight. We're not scared of him. He was scared last time, Bill Haney said. That's why he did it, he was scared to lose. This wasn't just trash talk, it was personal. The first fight ended in chaos, a no contest, a failed drug test, and a lawsuit that was only dropped after the rematch was agreed upon. Now, with both fighters and their teams agreeing to VADA testing, Bill Haney was determined to make sure history didn't repeat itself.
Huh? You ducking it, huh? Lupe, you done ducked it, huh? Yeah, you done ducked it. Yeah, y'all done ducked it. Stay quiet.
We hope Ryan Garcia will keep it clean, keep his nose clean, and there'll be a fair fight, Bill Haney said, clearly keeping a close eye on Garcia. It was no secret that Garcia's behavior outside the ring had been under the microscope for months. His strange social media rants, unpredictable actions, and constant lifestyle scrutiny made people question whether he was truly focused. Bill Haney wasn't about to let him off easy. On the other hand, Devin Haney remained focused. He took time off, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. While Garcia sat on the sidelines, Haney was using his break on his own terms, welcoming a child, reflecting, and preparing for his next step. I'm super excited, so determined to work again, Haney said. I'm excited to show what type of fighter I am.
People say about me.
That's right.
I walked through the fire and still held it down and still beat Devin Haney and still drank every day and still beat him. And I did everything.
What happened? False reality, right? Drank every single night, went out.
Devin Haney wasn't making excuses for his first performance against Garcia, but he wasn't ignoring the reality either. I made a lot of mistakes in that first fight, Haney admitted. I got away from it. I had a baby, spent time with my family, and enjoyed my vacation. But now, I feel great. Bill Haney fully backed his son. He wasn't just talking about getting revenge, he was talking about domination. He believed Garcia got lucky in the first fight, and this time, there would be no doubt. You don't become the youngest undisputed champion without being focused. He's focused, Bill Haney said. Moving up to 140 was just a pit stop. When he moves to 147, you're going to see a stronger, faster, and more determined Devin Haney.
When you look at like Devin Haney's situation when he went to go sue Ryan Garcia, yeah. Okay, cool. So okay, all right.
The fans at the press conference, however, didn't seem to care about that. Every time Devin Haney spoke, they booed him and cheered for Garcia. Bill Haney wasn't surprised by the reaction. "We know it's Southern California. We're from Oakland, Northern California," he said, almost brushing it off. "We understand, this is a great boxing community, and Ryan Garcia's the hometown guy." Despite the hostile crowd, Bill saw it as a great opportunity for his son to gain some fans and respect.
I hope that this is what you guys wanted to do. In Circus Act, Devin is a real fighter, and you showed no respect up there. You showed no respect for what he's done for boxing. He's a 2-division champion and undisputed champion.
That's not kind of you to say.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you the truth.
Well, why are the fans booing him then?
Well, I mean, that's because a part of it. We all.
Devin Haney, on the other hand, just laughed. He knew exactly what was going on. He had officially become the villain. Maybe it was because of Garcia's massive social media following, or because Garcia had convinced people that their first fight was legit. Maybe it was simply because people love an underdog, and Haney wasn't one. He was the established champion, the one who always took boxing seriously, while Garcia played the unpredictable superstar. Haney didn't care. He was more than comfortable with the hate. He knew what mattered most was what happened in the ring, not at a press conference full of Garcia fans.
I asked one question, is why would Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions receive $1 million in damages? What damages did they occur?
Then came the surprise. Before Haney left the downtown Mayan Theater, he crossed paths with Andrew and Tristan Tate, the two controversial internet personalities. They were in attendance and wasted no time making their presence known. "As long as they're talking about you, it's all good," Andrew Tate told Haney, almost as if passing down advice from one villain to another. Haney just smirked. Maybe he agreed, maybe he didn't, but one thing was clear, he wasn't backing down from the role the boxing world had given him. If Ryan Garcia thought he could use the crowd's cheers to shake him, he was in for a long night when they finally stepped into the ring again. Ryan Garcia wasn't holding back. Every time he spoke about Devin Haney, the frustration was clear, the sarcasm was thick, and the insults kept coming. He wasn't just talking about the rematch, he was mocking the lawsuit, the deposition, and everything Haney had done outside the ring. Garcia made it sound like Haney was more focused on courtrooms than boxing gloves. "I kept it classy for one reason. He's suing me," Garcia said, shaking his head as if he still couldn't believe it. "I don't know what to tell him. Everything I've said is now used against me. So I don't know what to say to them. At the end of the day, anything I say could be used against me, so what am I supposed to do, really?" Garcia wasn't just annoyed, he was genuinely irritated. It wasn't just about boxing anymore. He felt like he was being pulled into a chess game where Haney was playing lawyer instead of fighter, and Garcia wasn't hiding how he felt about it.
A lot of people are going to wonder about the state of Devin Haney's chin after his fight with Ryan Garcia. Are you going to be able to test that chin?
Of course I'm going to test the chin. That's my job, you know. Even if it was 31-0 and 31 knockouts, my job is to test his chin.
I just realized he's that much of a B, and maybe he'll sue me for saying that. Who knows, he might use that in the deposition, Garcia added with a laugh, his voice dripping with sarcasm. He used a lot of my tweets in the deposition, everything I said, he used against me. This is the weak state of mind this man has. He's taking words and using them against me in the court of law. I just want to beat him again, and that's it. The tension wasn't just hanging in the air, it was alive and burning. When the two showed up for the second press conference for the Times Square card in Los Angeles, it didn't take long for things to escalate.
If he be able to slip the hook, he could be able to go ahead and...
So you're not buying the PED stuff? You think that was a legit?
Come on, bro. I think he used something to lose weight.
Do you think Ryan was better versus you?
Yeah, for sure, because he had to train. He didn't have to train for Devin.
When DAZN's Todd Grisham asked Garcia about his upcoming fight against Rolando Raleigh Romero, Garcia barely acknowledged Romero as a real threat. He wasn't focused on May 2nd as a challenge, he was looking straight past it, all the way to Haney. "That's all I'm really worried about," Garcia said. "Not even to redeem myself, just to cement that Osterine, which you probably set up. Osterine doesn't help you block a left hook, bro. You got hit like 1,000 times."
The most eyes on you, the most to prove. What's your prediction? What's going to happen May 2nd?
With no belts! I put Broly to sleep with a left hook. That's it. That's what you're going to see.
Garcia leaned back in his chair, shaking his head like he was worn out by the whole situation. The smirk on his face made it clear he knew exactly what he was doing, poking the bear, taunting Haney, and keeping the rivalry heated. But Haney wasn't having it. The moment Garcia mentioned Osterine, his expression turned hard. He'd heard enough excuses and justifications. To him, Garcia was guilty, plain and simple. How did you test positive? Haney shot back, his voice cold and serious. You took your punishment because you knew you were guilty. Garcia laughed, but his frustration was real. He'd spent months trying to shake the stain of the failed test, insisting that the Osterine was never intentional, that it hadn't helped him in the ring, and that the victory should have still counted. But Haney wasn't letting him escape that easily.
Devin, who we clearly know he didn't even try to. The only reason Ryan's in this position is because he has a bunch of followers.
For Haney, this wasn't just about clearing his record, it was about revenge. My main focus is Jose Ramirez, and then lining it back up with Ryan Garcia, Haney said, his tone measured and controlled. Whatever my punishment was, that's what it was, and I looked to punish him in the ring. Bill Haney stood nearby, watching everything unfold. He had already made it clear he wasn't happy about waiting until October for the rematch, but now, seeing Garcia speak so freely, he seemed even more irritated. Garcia's confidence remained unshaken. Despite everything, the no contest ruling, the suspension, and the lawsuit, he still spoke as if he were the clear winner. To him, the world saw what happened in the ring. He knocked Haney down 3 times, dominated, and no commission ruling or lawsuit could erase that. Haney, however, saw things differently. He viewed the rematch as a chance to put all doubts to rest, to prove that Garcia's win was tainted and to make sure that the second fight left no room for debate.
Corruption at its finest. They couldn't take the loss. What's up, man? I know you see you. I don't want to touch that. I don't know what you're doing with your hands, buddy. But at this age, I think I got some little hats, bro. Hey, that
The crowd at the press conference was fully behind Garcia. It was clear whose city this was. Garcia didn't seem to mind playing to the crowd. If anything, he thrived in it. Haney, on the other hand, stayed focused, barely reacting to the jeers. The two continued exchanging words on stage, but it wasn't just about boxing anymore, it was personal, and neither of them was backing down. Haney wanted justice, while Garcia wanted validation, and the war of words wasn't ending anytime soon. But despite all the heated exchanges, both Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney have serious fights ahead of them before they can even think about their rematch.
Brian, obviously the boxing world, they just want the Haney rematch so it could be settled once and for all. What is your message? Obviously, you guys are going through the lawsuit right now, but if you and Devin can run it back again, under what terms would it be?
Run it back the same way.
These upcoming fights aren't just stepping stones, they're crucial. If either of them slips up, the entire narrative shifts. For Ryan Garcia, facing Rolando Raleigh Romero on May 2nd isn't just about staying busy. It's about proving he's still sharp, still dominant, and still the same fighter who dropped Haney 3 times in their first meeting. If he loses to Romero, it's a disaster. It wouldn't just hurt his reputation, it would kill the hype for the rematch with Haney. Fans wouldn't be as excited to see them go at it again if Garcia can't even get past Romero, a fighter criticized for his sloppy style and questionable chin. Losing to Romero would make people question if Garcia was ever as good as he claimed to be.
Ryan Garcia did a year ago. How concerned are you with that left hook that he is so proud of?
Not very concerned at all.
At all?
At all.
The same goes for Haney and his fight against Jose Ramirez. Haney might be looking ahead to Garcia, but Ramirez is not the kind of fighter you can overlook. He's tough, experienced, and has been in big fights before. If Haney loses to Ramirez, it changes everything. The undefeated aura is gone, the rematch with Garcia loses its shine, and worst of all, it would make Garcia's words sting even more. How can Haney demand revenge when he just took an L before even getting back in the ring with Garcia? These fights are more than just warm-ups, they are must-win battles. Both Garcia and Haney need to take care of business first, or their rematch in October might not matter nearly as much as it does now. How do you think all this will play out? Who do you see winning the rematch? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.